Well, she's filling up. When I switch that switch around, I'm getting cold and warm and hot. All water's going in and out of all those settings. So that little board must be doing. It's letting water in. The water valve is working, both of them. I've got it set on low speed. We're going to see. By gosh, she's a washing. Now all we got to do is see if it'll work itself around to the spin cycle and fill up and everything. Let's see how good the dogs are. Check that. That wore out. Whenever you can hold that with your hand like that, those dogs are worn out. They'd ever get turned into an old man rapidly. Oh boy. Alright, let's see if she'll move on over and going into the wrench side. By gosh, she's a washing. Now all we got to do is see if it'll work itself around to the spin cycle and fill up and everything. Let's see how good the dogs are. Check that. That wore out. Whenever you can hold that with your hand like that, those dogs are worn out. They'd ever get turned into an old man rapidly. Oh boy. Alright, let's see if she'll move on over and going into the wrench side. The water enters through the water valve here into that black hose, and it gets distributed into the tub through this fill spout here. Alright. As the pressure builds in the tub, this tubing right here, the air pressure inside this tubing comes up to this switch, and it pushes against, there's 3 wires here, and as the air pressure from the water pushes against this tubing, it clicks that switch on and throws it the power to the motor. Instead of the power going to the water valve, now you have the power to the motor. And the motor start capacitor is mounted up here. Most of them are mounted on the bottom, but it's up here. And that's the timer, back end of the timer right there. Now I've got the lid switch jumped out. See, the green wires bypassed, or cut out. These 2 wires are just tied together. And this other one on the other end is for a later model. Alright, now it's going to stop. So it's starting to pump out now. It's got it'll take about a good 3 minutes to pump out. Once it really takes longer once the water will go out, but it's like if it had a full tub, it's going to run long, and it's set up to where it doesn't know how much water's in there. It's just going to keep pumping for 3 or 4 minutes until that timer clicks on over, and then there's a spin pawl inside the transmission that'll catch one of those bosses underneath the main drive gear. When that thing stops, it'll sling that spin pawl out, and it'll have a brief pause for about a minute, and it'll kick back in, and that spin pawl will catch inside of that gear, and she'll take off like Moody's goose, in theory. That's what we're hoping it'll do. I'm gonna go ahead and just let it run the whole. It's been 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Well, all right, I'm gonna stop the film, and when it stops pumping, then I'm gonna kick it back on. All right, it's done wrenched, and it's done pumped out. Any second now, it ought to kick off for a second, so the transmission can shift. Don't make a liar out of me, boy. Look at that kitty cat. There it goes. Is that a good wash machine? Look at that kitty cat. Is that a good wash machine, kitty cat? Okay. Hell yeah, that's a good wash machine. Ooh yeah, boy, she's taking off on final spin now. I believe it's gonna be alright. Look at that. Look at that dude. What you want, man? You better go somewhere. Look at that scaredy kid and all that. Geek, geek, geek. Go over there and bother them cats. Alright, later, Gator.